In a little over a week's time, more than 100 yachts entered in the Rolex Sydney to Hobart yacht race will be sailing through Sydney Heads behind me here and turning right for Hobart. The Balcaddy media team, with the support of Club Marine and Sail World, will be covering the full event and talking to all of those involved, from the marathon sailors in the smallest boats to the sprint teams in the Super Maxis. And to kick off our coverage, we spoke to Mark Bradford, the skipper of Blackjack, just after they won the SOLAS Challenge last week, to find out a little more about the foil design on Blackjack and how they hope to use that to advantage against their Super Maxi rivals. So Mark, a good day out on the water today.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? Very enjoyable.
And conditions pretty much suited you guys. Nice, good, steady nor'easter, bit of sea running thanks to an enormous fleet of spectator boats, but good conditions for you guys, yeah?
Yeah, look, I think it's a strange situation for us because we're never normally ahead of the spectator boats. We're normally in the boat behind Wild Oats that gets the spectator boat, so it was nice to be out in what we would call clear water.
On that forward canard is pretty good for these harbour conditions. I guess it gets you through tacks and so on fairly quickly. Does that help you?
Yeah, look, it's the great thing for us is it validates a lot of our thinking over the year and the hard decisions we've made that we had to make 6 months ago, and I think the boat was good. I sailed on the boat in 2005 in the first Hobart, and I think it was a great boat, and it's got a fantastic track record. I think what we've managed to achieve now is we've really brought the boat into the modern game.
And what have you done since Hamilton Island? What have you done with the boat? Any sort of significant changes?
Oh, no, since Hamilton Island it's the same thing. Our final Hamilton Island for us was about figuring out the modes downwind and the types of sails. And that's quite a big process to do that, and by the time you do all the studies and work out where you want to sit there, and so our sails just came online for this weekend, and we've ticked them off and we think we're on the right path, but hey, there's a lot of factors, isn't there?
So for the techos who want to really understand these foils and so on, you've got Wild Oats with 2 dagger boards. She once had a forward canard, that's gone. You've got a forward canard, but it's lifting and rotating as well. Tell us a little bit about what was the thinking behind that.
Weight. It's all about weight for us. Our whole thing, and for those of you who know Peter Harburg know it's all about weight, which is fantastic because that's a nice place to be with a solid direction. So we chose one board just to save the weight, but the nice feature there is it can track with the back rudder as the boat was designed, but it can trim like a trim tab, so you can change your modes on the wind pretty quickly with the front board.
Right, so you can separate it and just literally get extra lift in certain modes.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You turn it up, you go higher, you make it straight, you go faster.
Yeah.
So Brian Hillier, who is our traveller guy, so you've got the whole trim loop that it can do it in the air, and he can also get you a quick result in the water. It's a quicker return in the water. If you want to make a boat go fast forward, you can ease the sails off or sheet the sails wider, or in our case you can straighten the front board, and that makes the boat track faster through the water. Then if you want to make it go high, you can turn it at a bigger angle and you can go on the wind at a higher angle. In the beginning it's always the numbers because that's the science of it, and that's what we've bought into, and then now we've got a little bit of sort of artistic flair to use the skill of being a yachtsman that we're adding on top, which is just kind of the depth of our trim group. Simon Daubney, Vaughan Prentice, they're like as good as it gets, so it's a pretty nice place to be.
Well done and good luck for the big race.
Thank you.